make note the music on the switchboard is distressing. It should be changed at a later date for something calming and soothing, because it is not constructional for people to listen to at least 20 minutes to get through to the call with such aggressive music in places. It is quite distressing to listen to, and it should be altered for something more appropriate, such as a calming or soothing tones without drum, percussions or any emotion within the music other than the soothing content. It is totally inappropriate. The surgery used that music as demonstrated here. In places it comes to climax and it is not suitable for a surgery. It is building anticipation, it is building emotion, it is unsuitable for a call waiting to book a GP appointment. In fact, it is racing, it is totally unsuitable and mismanaged by the, as you can hear now, I'm on hold to make a GP appointment, and it has raised my anxiety somewhat.
You are number 19 in the call queue. Please continue to hold, and an operator will be with you shortly.
Now there is some calm and relief within this music, but it is also conducted with aggression in places, racing in places, and it is unsuitable, and it has been mismanaged by whoever's responsibility that is for this recording to be played to people waiting for a call that may be in distress, and it is totally unsuitable for this purpose. That is the recording and statement that I am making on the 17th of April.
You are number 19 in the call queue. Please continue to hold, and an operator will be with you shortly.
And it should be addressed accordingly with something more pleasant. I suggest some tones which is suitable for therapy of some kind, such as meditation. That would be far more appropriate for this call centre and handling. Again, as you can hear, the music is unsuitable. This is Waltham Abbey GP practice while you are booking an appointment to speak to a doctor about important medical conditions. However, there is resolve in this music. It is not before a lot of build-up, anticipation, climax and so on. And for people trying to make important phone calls to their doctor or arrange a call back from their doctor or appointment with
you are number 18 in the call queue.
With conditions which are dire
will be with you shortly.
Or anxiety levels are raised by this music in preparation to talk to one of the people on the board that takes the phone call from the person ringing, and it is unsuitable. The music is high-pitched and screaming. I suffer with tinnitus and also at this time anxiety. There is a small amount of depression, but also there is an elevated, heightened anxiety, which is then increased by listening to this music.
You are number 18 in the call queue. Please continue to hold, and an operator will be with you shortly.
The anxiety level is raised before listen to this music. It is totally unsuitable. With crashing cymbals, high-pitched strings in a third octave, anticipation, racing, it is unsuitable totally to be in use at this practice as a call. It is totally unsuitable, and that is a report that I'll be making later separately from my phone call today.
You are number 18 in the call queue. Please continue to hold, and an operator will be with you shortly.
Now, as you can hear, this does not set up anyone to be in a pleasant place before speaking to the operator. In fact, it does elevate anxiety somewhat to basically a record level, because this is the kind of music that you would expect in a feature film of action, drama, or even a World War type film, possibly involving an invasion of some kind. or a heightened period of stress and emotion which is not required for this phone call, it should be replaced with something soothing and calming and is totally unsuitable. Now the music continues, so we'll keep recording this music until if it's replaced with a different piece of music that is unclear. This piece of music is totally unsuitable. One, there is more than one instrument playing at a time. In fact, there is an entire orchestra playing at one time, which is very confusing for people with mental health conditions, including anxiety.
Please continue to hold, and an operator will be with you shortly.
As you can hear, the distress within the music continues, anticipation and racing. A small amount of resolve, which sounds more like sympathy or something like that. So basically within this music there is torn feelings, torment. All of the emotions are covered within this piece of music, as you may understand classical music. In the right situation, this is a piece of music that supports a theme.
You are number 17 in the call queue.
And it is certainly not appropriate for the call centre here before making an important booking or an appointment with a medical practitioner. The high-pitched squealing now of the string accompaniment is absolutely aggravating, and it is basically unpleasant to the point of distress for someone with tinnitus. And I will be publicising this on YouTube to highlight the fact that this is incorrect and it should be managed in a better way by the practice or other practices. If this is supplied at a higher level, all this is doing is stressing out patients waiting to hear back from results or book an important appointment with their doctor, and it will cause problems with the switchboard because people will be more aggressive, they will be more concerned, they will be in more distress, anxiety will be elevated and so on, in preparation to talk to a professional, which is not on really for the professional or the patient in this circumstance. Now I'll continue the music for a little bit longer, but I will conclude this recording because I think you've heard enough.
Please continue to hold, and an operator will be with you shortly.
As you can hear, this music is totally unsuitable, and I don't know who has allowed this to happen, but as an audio technician of 30 years, and I think any other audio technician would agree with me, this is unsympathetic for people calling, and it is basically disappointing to hear it, especially considering my own position at the minute. I have tinnitus, high anxiety, and it is possibly the most important phone call of my life to discuss medical records, history and ongoing condition of anxiety, and also other issues that are personal to myself, which are very, very important at this time. So there we go, that is the Waltham Abbey Market Square surgery. The music may be provided by a third party or the government or whoever, but this management and mismanagement needs to cease, and a calming music with less than 3 instruments should be played, which could include soothing tones such as used by a therapist in a massage or meditation such as Tai Chi scenario. Okay, I think that is pretty understanding to understand that basically that is really what should be provided here. So we're going to just let this run a little bit longer and see if the actual music rolls over to a different piece of music, or it resolves in some way to something more sympathetic someone on hold here for Lily, going on. The duration of the phone call at the minute will be reflected by the length of this video, but we have paused it many times, so I think basically you could be on hold here for up to half an hour, inflicted with the punishment of this unsuitable music, at least for this use case. This is the kind of music that would be used within a film or a dramatic sequence of events at a play or theatre, where the person viewing that would be prepared to basically sit through the anguish of the film and feel the dramatics of that performance, because they are well prepared to do so, and they know what they are letting themselves into going into a theatre to watch a play or performance, or watch a feature film including content which is displayed to them before watching it, such as an 18 certificate, or there is violence or abuse, or there is drugs or foul language included within the description of that play or performance. So obviously when you ring a doctor's surgery and you're greeted with a kind of very distressing music which is elevating anxiety, it is not suitable, because you are not in a place to prepare yourself to undergo the dramatic sequence of what this music represents. It is just totally not suitable. And I know I'm repeating myself at the moment, but I'm making it very, very clear that this is mismanagement, probably from the top level down, and someone is very uneducated when it comes to music and audio, especially to do with public services. And this kind of abuse needs to change. I think the abuse is unawareness. It is unawareness of illness. It is unawareness of people's anxiety. And it is also unawareness of people's conditions such as tinnitus. And now the NHS are fully aware of all of those conditions, but I feel whoever has set up this switchboard is unaware. It probably is not malicious. But if this music continues to be played at this practice, once we have basically told them that it should be ceased immediately, then further investigation into it should be made, because it is totally unsuitable. Now I'm going to stop this recording and stop talking about it, because it is causing me distress, and it is not preparing me to speak to either the practitioner there or the person taking the phone call or the doctor. And I do feel uncomfortable, and I do feel slightly distressed now even talking about it with you, even with my partner besides me. So it is very distressing to go through the torment of listening to this prior to my phone call. So I thank you, have a good day. Now if there's a switchboard near you with similar aggressive music, dramatics included, I urge you to make a complaint and simply refer to this video and the reasons why it is set out within it. Any good audio professional could advise, alongside a practitioner such as a therapist or even a Buddhist that does meditation, to advise on the correct music to be used in this scenario. I wish everyone good health and continued good health, but these are the small things, a framework of a higher body which should be, it should be known to basically that there is a better way to handle these things, and we look forward to it being corrected in future. That is highly uncomfortable, and I'm going to turn the phone down now before concluding the video. That is highly inappropriate. Okay, hope everyone has a good week. So I'm just beginning a recording here, listening to the Market Square Surgeries audio message, which is what you need to be inflicted with while you're ringing the doctor's office to make an appointment or an inquiry. So let's just have a listen. So we've been on hold nearly 40 minutes now. It is Wednesday the 19th of April at 4:31 at this time.
You are number 3 in the call
So I'm just
queue.
expecting
Please
to get put...
continue to hold, and an operator will be with you shortly.
I'm going to get through to the switchboard in a minute, and I'll be asking a few questions about seeing my physio. If it's possible to see a physio, because I'm still in quite bad pain since the incident last Friday. Oh my god, that is shocking. My tinnitus is completely set off and my anxiety levels are definitely rising, so I'm going to lower that down now and not inflict you with it as well. I'm going to be making a complaint or finding out who manages the call centre number and the music. So it's call centre music. I'm just noting that down to myself because that is just a hideous way to have people waiting on hold. Maybe it's designed to drop calls because I can't think of any other reason why someone would use this message at a doctor's surgery where it is distressing to the people calling in. It is unsatisfactory in any regard. The music is racing in places, then maybe sympathetic in others, but it's full of emotion, clashing, banging, screeching of high octave strings, orchestra going for it big style for kind of action movie, maybe from the World War sort of theme, something like that. Totally unsuitable for not only the staff working there but the people calling in as well. So I'm going to be putting at least part of this message on YouTube to be reviewed by the public, at which later date I will be making, like I say, I'll approach. I don't think it's the fault of the surgery itself. However, this is a market surgeries in Waltham Abbey. I think rather it is the responsibility for an outside crew, so we'll find out that in a minute. If we can find out who manages the call centre music or the phone system within in-house. Is it in-house or is it external? It's actually causing me quite bad anxiety at the minute, and I'm actually on medication for that as well, so even though it's managed, this is quite distressing. I've had to lower the volume, and I'm going to have to turn the fan on. Now I'm in call 3 now, so it is kind of near the time to taking a call, but up to the call duration at the minute is 42 minutes on hold here, and the other day it was an hour and a half, so you've got to really call here to get an appointment. That's not the fault of the staff there, but I'm telling you, this phone call, the music does not set you up for a pleasant conversation with the staff there, and it is actually quite distressing because it leaves you in anticipation. There are several climaxes through this music which is paramount to racism, basically, if you listen to this section coming up. I use the term racism as comedy value, such as IT Crowd from a few years ago, but it's basically paramount to... It is a comedy, or a very dark black comedy here, listening to the music of the Waltham Abbey Market Square surgery. Now, we maybe
continue to hold, and an operator will be with you shortly.
Now, I might be taking a few different recordings from different surgeries around the UK to see how they're dealing with this. This is really, quite frankly, shocking, as it builds into yet another crescendo. Now, that's too much. I'm going to turn it down. Even at low volume, that is quite shocking, shrilling, and for someone suffering with tinnitus such as myself, it is really quite appalling that there's been no actual management or understanding of what they're doing within this job role. So I'm going to put a stop to this and make sure it's dealt with, because it's totally unsuitable. Now, it should be replaced with something therapeutic, such as some meditation music with chimes would be fine. No more than 1 or 2 instruments played at any one time, and maybe something that controls breathing, something along these lines. If you've been to anywhere to, such as a spa treatments place, or anywhere that's giving therapy, they normally play pleasant music that calms you. This is just simply not. It's actually giving me a neck and a semi-migraine now before I make the address the staff in this building. So it's going to be. I'm going to try and just be quiet for the minute and listen for the phone, but it is actually quite distressing at this point. So I'm going to just turn it up a little bit so you can still hear it. Here it is. This is a real tinnitus banger here. I prefer drum and bass music at this point. And it would be more soothing and calming. Essentially, loud techno music would be far more calming than this is very distressing music with... Oh my god, that's way, way out of control. The emotion within this content... The emotion within this content is way bang out of order for someone that may be in desperate need of care as well, and it's really distracting. It's putting me in a bad frame of mind to make this phone call, so I don't want to be set up to make a complaint and be angry. So I'm going to basically... Oh my god, that's horrific. That is horrific. And it continues, and this music is it doesn't matter if you call at 2 a.m. in the morning or whether it's 2 a.m. in the afternoon, you get this music repeated to you. Oh my god, I'm turning that down now because it really is piercing my ears, and it's set off my tinnitus, which is giving me anxiety. So I'm going to be basically making I will get my call done with sympathy to this phone call, but then be requesting who manages the call centre music, etc., and see if I can approach them. I don't believe it's the actual staff here that provide this music. I think it's a higher body, and whoever that is in serious neglect of patients ringing in here. This is a big issue for anyone with mental health conditions, anyone suffering from tinnitus, anxiety. There's many other conditions that will not, such as anger management. I also suffer from anger management. I'm also suffering from anxiety and tinnitus all at the same time here, that's managed by pain relief and anxiety relief as well with the medicine that I've been prescribed. Now, I'm just highlighting this because it is paramount to terrorism to listen to this before listen. Now, I don't want to be disrespectful to the surgery because it's probably not their responsibility. We'll find out in a minute, and I've got every sympathy for the staff that work there if they need to take a phone call from someone that's been inflicted with this music prior to their conversation. It's really bang out of order. It's not treating their staff with any respect. It's quite possible their staff are unaware of this treatment of the patients before they even ring in. Now, if it's designed to make customers hang up, then this is basically a conspiracy to, ditch phone calls. Can anyone put... My neck and back and lower back of my neck is really affected now. I can feel it's tightened up. The stress is built up to an unbelievable amount. Even with the volume lowered now, I can still hear it. It's this. If I was to pay to go to a theatre to watch this in London, I think I would walk out in horror. Especially if I was suffering any mild symptoms from what I've described already. It's just totally... You do not want to put yourself in a position to be listening to this kind of racket, because it really is. Now, classical music through a full spectrum system can sound wonderful, but when it's on a bandwidth restricted system such as a medium wave radio or a telephone, it is horrific because there's no dynamics to it. It is overly compressed. And although there is some dynamics within this music, I've got it turned down here, and every note of what's played by this orchestra, I know it was played for a purpose, for a movie soundtrack or accompaniment to a play or theatre, but it's a highly emotional piece, and it's really out of place here at Doctor's Surgery. So I'm going to try and put a stop to this because it's quite frankly disgusting. And it just continues on a loop forever, so this music just never ends. It is literally a very surreal situation waiting for your phone call here. It's totally unacceptable. So I'm going to stress that I'm going to try and get this dealt with in the kindest manner I can do, talking to the start. I'm going to have to lower the volume again because it's quite horrific. And it just continues to punish. This is a piece that's designed to evoke the senses, get you welled up with feelings of, like frustration, anger, and racing. So we're getting near I've got to be really aware of when the operator's going to pick up in a minute, and we're going to ask her name, we're going to ask her position there, and I'm going to see if I can get my physio booked. And then we're going to approach whoever is taking the call, about who manages the call centre music and the number, if they can provide one. And then we will approach them with, someone managed this music and it is out of place. Maybe it's better suited to maybe an insurance company that want to get rid of people making claims, or a company such as Virgin Media that want basically customers to hang up on a line which they put them on hold for cancellations, for instance. I think the probability assessment of this music is designed to make customers hang up because it's highly distressing in this situation. You wouldn't want to be suffering any terminal illness or, like I say, psychological problems, tinnitus or any. I spoke to Mind UK West Essex yesterday, who are based in Harlow, and they agreed with me that the call centre music is inappropriate. And I did ask them to approach this surgery as well, but I think we're within our rights to manage and ask a few simple questions here today, so we're going to do that in a moment. And now I've actually got stabbing pains in my side, actually, from just talking to you about this and listening to the music, so it is really had a bad effect on me just sitting here waiting with the music turned down. That's a shame, because I was hoping not to. I mean, I was. Oh, here we go. So we're just going to turn the phone back up. Right, with every respect for the person working at this office. And I will censor the name later in the phone call. I will just remove that name with a beep. So we're hoping to get put through to arrange my physio call, if possible. Okay, it's distressing. The neighbours come in and the dogs are barking as well now, so that's additional stress for me actually in this position. I was set up for this phone call with, I knew what was going to happen. I knew that the 51 minute is the hold time now. It's probably going to be 52 minutes before it's open. So the anticipation here is just insane. There are external noises to the building now, which is making frustration even more now, even though the music's ended. Yeah, there's movement upstairs now. They've just come home at a bad time, and I'm not blaming them, but I'm hoping they can control the dog for a while I make this phone call. So let's just listen to what our result is here. I'm going to try and control my breathing, because I do feel like, my mind is racing, my heartbeat's risen.
Your call is now first in the queue and will be answered by the next available representative. Thank you for your patience.
What they need to put on is a soothing tone right now to calm you down from the horrific horror show that you've just been witness to. Whew, it's terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Market Square Surgery.
Oh, hi there, it's Paul again. I'm just ringing up to see if I could book an appointment with a physio.
Paul, sorry?
Oh, my name's Mr. Cheek, it's Paul Cheek, and I'm trying to get an appointment with the physio that you have on staff there occasionally at the office.
Right, what you're going to have to do...
Okay.
I'm just having a look. She only works 1 day a week.
Yeah, I understand that, yeah. I've just got there's ongoing pains and stuff that are just unexplained, and it's a bit strange, so I'd like to see the physio. I'll just bear with you.
If you give us a call next week, and we'll have some more rotors on for May. But she's full up this month.
I understand that. So next week, is there a day you suggest?
Give us a call next week.
Just on Monday?
She only no. Yeah, give it a go Monday and see.
All right. What's your name there, please, if you don't mind? Yeah. Can I just ask you a simple question? The question is, who manages the phone call centre within the building? You know, is there someone that manages that? You know, for the music and that's playing.
No.
Do you reckon
we've got new. Go on, carry on.
Right, is it in-house managed or external? Because it's
external, isn't it? It's not in-house.
Right, what I would say then, please can you find out who manages the music, and can you...
Oh, no, right.
What basically, it's horrific. I don't know. Are you aware that the music playing is highly emotional content with racing themes and banging cymbals and high strings at third octave? Are you aware that there's that music going on? Look, have all sympathy. The music that sets up the customers to listen to you is really, really. I've suffered from tinnitus. I've got anxiety at the minute, and you can fully imagine the distress that the music is calling. When, have you heard it personally yourself? That's basically a question.
No.
Right. Well, all you need to do then is ring your own number, and you'll understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And then
I don't think that could be changed.
Well, it will be changed because I will be making a complaint about it for it to be changed because it's terrible. Right, there's one other question I'd like to ask. If you could try and find or put it by a doctor or any other senior member of staff to try and find out who manages it. Once you have found out that, I'd like you to approach me via email, that's fine, and just send me the details for that because I need to basically understand who manages the call centre, because I'm telling you, when you ring back and listen for 5 minutes, and I've been on like hold nearly 40 minutes to get through to you, you'll understand why. And it doesn't set up a phone call like with someone like me that's in distress to talk to someone like you who's managing. I mean, you're managing calls all day, and it must be frustrating for patients. Right. And I'm basically trying to look out for your welfare as well as mine, because I'm telling you, it is hideous. Right, now there's one other question.
No problem.
If you can try and do that, and I don't need to make an official complaint, I just need to approach the people who manage that, whether it's in-house or not, or whether it's externally. If the government supply that or whatever, then I'll just approach them and say... No,
it's nothing to do with the government.
I don't know who. To be honest, I've got no idea. Maybe it's the people. Maybe it's the people that handle the security. Maybe they also do the door entry. And
we don't have anything like that. No,
someone
nothing
does,
to do with them.
Someone does the telephones there, right? So we need to try and approach them to have it corrected, because it's not right. It's like It's like literally someone was narcissistic that put the music there, and it's not in your favour at all. So I'd like to just correct that, because it is really distressing. Listen to it. You'll find out when you can ring your own number later. I want to get that address because it is bang out of order. Right. Well, now with that said, was you like? I'm not sure. Do you know who did you work with my mother at all, Shirley?
Yep.
You did. So you know who I am then, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Because I can't put faces to voices. I'm a bit stupid like that, and I don't know who people are. I really don't. If there's any reason that you want to contact me outside of office hours, I can give you my telephone number, and I'll offer that to you now.
No, I don't need to contact you at all.
Well, I'd like you to contact me out of hours if you'd like to, and I'd like you offered the phone number.
No, thank you.
If you don't want to do that, that's fine.
No, thank you.
Was you aware whether you was working last Friday or not? Just Friday gone, I mean.
No, don't work Fridays.
Oh, good. I'm glad you wasn't in, because I'm really pleased about that. I think the whole situation may have been mismanaged. There's one other question, and that is I did request from Doctor who was actually on staff last Friday, or at least in charge on the front of house desk there, and who was making decisions on like what was happening on between the hours of 2 o'clock.
You're going to have to speak to the office with all this.
I do understand that, but basically I'm approaching this in a friendly stance at the minute, and I don't need to make a complaint. If it can be handled outside of complaints, that's fine. That's why I wanted to be like impartial with you and ask you if you had an opinion on the way it was managed, or you knew who was managing it.
I wasn't here and I haven't got a clue. No, you're going to have to go through the office for all that.
Okay, so there's one, like I said, if I have to make a complaint, that's fine. But you do appreciate the position I'm in. I appreciate it.
All right, love.
I can't put a face to you, but if I come in again, I'll try and ask who staff members are and get more familiar, because I really don't know. There's one last thing.
I wouldn't have a clue.
There is one last thing. Now, I came into the Market Square surgery not only on last Friday but the Friday before, and I did request that the doctor ring me urgently. Can you just see whether that was actually logged as a callback or not? Because I said very clearly to who was in the staff on that Friday to please have the doctor ring me. It's a matter of emergency. Now, I knew it was Friday and I'd have to wait through till Monday. Okay, it's bank holiday Monday. It was through till Tuesday. And then that dragged on. I thought, okay, you might be ringing Wednesday. And then there was something happened. There was something I needed to attend to here, like Wednesday. Basically, it wasn't till Friday that I actually managed to ring the office and say, look, by then I was in distress. The pain levels were building, anxiety and all the rest of it. Trust me, this has been really painful for me recently. I don't understand what's going on with me. That's why I wanted to see the physio and see doctor. I'm coming in for the health check on Monday. That's booked already. I think you might have dealt with my call earlier, wasn't it? And basically, I'm just trying to look. I've been backwards and forwards, and no one really knows what's wrong with me. But I'm telling you, I'm in a lot of pain. It resulted in me going to A&E, and I was left in distress within your office because whoever managed it was really they didn't manage it. They just left me suffering, and they also gave permission for the public to criticise and ridicule me as I was actually on the floor in distress, asking for my mother Shirley to be called while calmly repeating the phone number. No one managed that. I'm not sure if you're aware if that happened. Was you aware of that happening?
That is nothing, as I say, it's nothing to do with me whatsoever.
I know it's not, but
I don't know what went on the Friday.
I'm just filling you in. I'm just making you aware. If there's a bad egg in your office, whoever was managing Friday, is it?
I'm being
frank with you.
I can't explain anything because I wasn't here.
I know you wasn't.
So I really don't know.
And I don't expect you to either. Look, I'm just running it by you. Please keep an eye on your own staff. If there's a bad egg there, they were abusing people behind your back on a Friday. And what I'm asking is, was my call based? Look, in person,
What date am I looking at?
It might. I think it was the Friday before the Friday, so literally a week before. I'd have to get it on the calendar here to check. But I made a verbal statement saying, please have the doctor call me because it's a matter of urgency. So we're on the 19th now.
Well, it can't. It couldn't have been the Friday because that was it. That was Good Friday, so we wasn't here then.
It must have been the Thursday then, the 6th. If no one was in on Friday, it must have been the 6th then. Yeah, that's probably what it was. It took...
Hang on one sec.
Yeah, look, sorry, and I know it's like a lot. Okay, she's been I think, dealt with this okay. And it's not her responsibility. She just works in this place, so I've got every sympathy for her. And, for their surgery to be basically sabotaged by someone working there that's not responsible for people in a manner that we'll discuss at a later time, but there was a distressful scene there, and it did involve myself, and I think there's one bad egg amongst that staff, or cover staff, that seems to be, they weren't on staff or duty yesterday or the day before, so I reckon they only work Fridays, or I don't know, to be honest. I know absolutely nothing. We have no information, only a description of someone with black hair. There's bad eggs in every job role. There's a bad egg at that call centre music. Now this music's not too bad. It's funny that we've got a different piece of music now, which is still, the tones in this are a little bit striking, although it's a little bit better than the classical music that was being played. Still, these tones are a little bit too... I'm just going to turn that down a bit because the tones are a little bit... That's a bit more hypnotic. There's some screeching noises in this. It's still not really appropriate. It's probably 10 times better than the piece of classical music. but it's still, I think this is building on there's drama within this music. Loneliness within it there is a feeling of lostness or bewilderment, so it's not really appropriate for this switchboard either, although it's much better than the previous thing. We're just going to bear with to find out the information of the. Perhaps you can find the call, whoever handles the music. Also, I don't know the members of staff that are on last Friday. You know, she might be running it past someone else. Now, obviously, my main reason was to get a booking for physio. I've not been successful. I'll have to ring back next week. And the delay on that is, I think, until April, May. I won't be seen until May. So I've got immediate health conditions here that need looking at. Hi, thanks for coming back.
Hello?
Hi there, can you hear me?
Hello?
Hi, can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, right. So
Yeah.
on the 5th...
Oh,
yeah?
Yeah, on the 5th, yeah? Yeah. Yeah. Is that the
On the 5th,
yeah.
you come down regarding your medical records.
Yeah, that was it. I might have voiced it then.
There wasn't nothing on for a GP to phone you.
Well, that's probably...
And that was on a Wednesday.
Well, that was the day that I come in and I did voice, please can you see that Dr. Senior gives me a call back. So, do you know
You're breaking up, I can't hear you.
That was the day that I did definitely ask for the call back in person. So, do you know who basically was on the desk that day? Because they obviously didn't log it. I know it's going to take some time, but I do need to know who didn't log my call. Basically, I was there in person.
There's nothing on here for that. All it says is about you bringing in...
Yeah, I understand that, but who was on staff that day? So basically, whoever was on staff that day did let me down because I didn't have a call back.
People work different times, so no, I don't know.
If there's a way for you to try and approach that because it is important to me that my you know.
No, sorry, I can't.
I know, I understand. It's you. If you weren't working on that day yourself either.
Hold on a minute.
Yeah. On the 5th.
Hello?
Yes. Hi there.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Hello?
I'm here.
Hello?
I am here. Can you hear me?
Right. I can see on the... Yeah. I can see on the computer... Yeah. I can see on the I can hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you clearly if you want to talk.
I can see on the computer that you phoned at 12 minutes past 2 last Friday.
12 minutes past 2.
I can see on the computer that you phoned at 12 minutes past 2 last Friday.
That's right, Friday. But basically, when I logged the call back, I was in person.
Last Friday.
Yeah.
And you would have had to have phoned back again on the Monday.
Yeah, that's right. But basically, I came down to the office because I was in distress and I needed to be seen by a doctor. Do you know who handled that call on Friday? Got any idea? Because they were very dismissive of me.
It was too late.
I know it was, but I still needed to. I was on the verge of a seizure of some kind. Something was going. I needed to be at least observed by the doctor. And I think I should have been observed by the doctor, since I was laying on the office floor there near the reception for 40 minutes.
But it was too late. It's like if you phoned.
Yeah, but when it's emergency, all you needed to bring out a doctor to address me, and I could have.
But as I say, if you phoned now, I would have to tell you to phone back. Doesn't matter.
No, but it was an emergency.
No, I'm sorry, we can't do that. We are receptionists.
Yeah, I get that, but I needed to see a doctor desperately.
We have to abide by rules as well.
Well, I was in an emergency. The best.
We are told.
You was
then what you should have done is gone to A&E.
There was no way for me to get to A&E.
You needed to see someone.
There was no way to get to A&E for me. I actually was dropped off by a neighbour. They just happened to be outside.
No, I'm saying that is what you.
And my car didn't start.
Now for a GP. Yeah.
Yeah, well, basically, I made a choice. It was either wait 6 hours for an ambulance or come to the office.
I would have to say to you, you're going to have to phone at 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah, of course you would. But I was in a lot of distress and I needed to be observed by a doctor, at least for a few minutes at least.
Then you should have, as I say, you should have gone to A&E.
I understand that, but it was a decision in the moment that I needed to have made.
Me and you are going round in circles. Because,
yeah, well,
as I say, it's nothing
what I'm trying to do is ascertain who took my call on Friday.
Yeah.
Like I might have been anxious. I was anxious, and I apologise if I made anyone anxious. But basically, the pain inside my head and body and sciatic and everything was basically I collapsed upon arrival. So I apologise if there was any distress calls for any employees there. But I was in psychological. There was a pain going through my head, and I do feel that it was mismanaged completely. I'm not quite sure why, but like I said, I'm not sure who answered the call because I'm not familiar with voices.
Well, I think the best thing for you to do is to write that down.
In the complaints thing. So there's no idea to find out who, when I actually, like I say,
the best thing for you to do then is you have to write it down.
You know, every time I will do from now on, and I'm going to be ultra careful because I know that I could be mismanaged in some way like this. What I'm asking for you, and it's really the last thing now, I do appreciate you've been on the phone for so long helping me because it has been a great help. So, and do look into the music. You have to listen for it to yourself. Now, it's funny, when I'm on hold this second time, a different piece of music come on just by random, but that was not too bad.
There's nothing I can do or anyone can do regarding the music.
Well, I can because I'll be making a complaint about it, but I need to know who manages it rather than just lay into your office. I don't want to lay into your office.
We can do regarding the music.
Well, I will be able to do something about that because I've already been in touch with Mind UK in West Essex and they will be contacting you.
There's nothing we can do regarding the music.
Well, there is. I just need to know who manages that system, that's all. So if you can arrange to find out who that is, I will approach them, yeah? I'll approach them and make a complaint and have it changed.
I don't know.
If you can just ask maybe Dr. Dwan Senior or any other doctor in the office who manages that system and get back to me, that would be great. Just get back to me with time. There's no pressure on that, yeah? But maybe within the next 2 weeks you can find out. That's fine. I know you're busy at the minute and I respect that. Okay, but it's frustrating not knowing.
Well, it won't be me because I don't deal with it.
Of course not. I know it's a system that's probably managed externally. It's a technical piece of equipment, isn't it? All right, I don't blame your office for it, but I do want to get that address so other people are not, coming on the phone and having a go at you lot, because it's kind of distressing to listen to it. You'll find out when you give it a bell yourself, and it is the classical music. Just give it 5 minutes and it'll do a job on you. I'm telling you, it's really, really horrific. Look, so there's only... Did you have any idea who may have took my verbal instruction then, if it was on, to say, like, for the doctor to ring me? You got no idea? There's no idea. Okay, I'll just have to take that on the chin. Speak to you another time. Thanks for your assistance. Thank you. Bye.
No.
You take care.
I haven't got a clue. Wasn't here. I don't know.
Okay.
All right, love.
All right, thanks very much. Well, I think it's pretty understanding there, and I think she's one of the better members of the team there, and it is a very difficult job to basically work at that office, especially if you're getting calls coming in from people that have been harassed by the music that's playing before they pick up the phone. So that is... I don't think it's their responsibility or management. They don't seem to have any idea that who's managing that, but I will take that further. And like I said, I've already spoke to Mind UK West Essex, and they know all about it. And I did say, as an audio engineer myself, of over 30 years, and I will run this past several other audio engineers when we upload this to YouTube. Now, I'll edit out the names. I will basically change the names to protect the innocent, and I do believe the person that was handling the call today is not to blame for these problems. So I'm just going to get on with finishing this report, and I think John Tetley's asking how I'm doing, so I'm going to get in touch with John now. We're just going to give John a ring, and we'll quickly just have a quick chat, and then I'll conclude this recording, and I hope to see you soon on the channel. And we might upload this to General Fishcat's channel. John Tetley, big up, mate.
All right, man.
Yeah, mate. How you doing? It's been a couple of days, right? I'm going to conclude the recording here. Big shout out to the Rave Dump and all the posse there, mate. John, give it a big up there, mate. You're just being recorded for the second.
Rave Dump crew, John Tetley in the halls.
Yeah, mate, there he is. I'm in support of John Tetley's music now, and I'm addicted to it. So let's go and play. Well, I'm going to speak to John now. See you guys later.